Mate, I can guarantee Friday night, there's nothing more I'd rather do than watch two losers presenting on Amazon FBA.
And the star man's not even here.
I've just realised as well. Let me just get the old Instagram on. So, hello everyone. For those of you joining, we just thought we'd do a little cheeky Friday night session on Amazon FBA, because why not? We've got a bit of an exciting announcement to make as well. If you're based in the UK, it's not something that you want to miss. So, yeah, we wanted to use this session as an opportunity to make this huge announcement, and also to just do a bit of a Q&A on Amazon FBA. If you guys are struggling with anything, if you need our help, feel free to whack it in the comments. If there's any product niches you'd like us to take a look at, more than happy to. We've got about half an hour before my wife will be shouting my name and threatening to beat me unless I go downstairs and look after my son. So,
mate,
make sure you guys...
There's people. What reckon it is now? What's it in the UK? 20 to 6. People be commuting home, surely buzzing for the weekend, getting stuck into their product research. Do you reckon?
To be honest, if I was on my way home and this flashed up, I'd be like, let's get the TV on, get YouTube on, and let's settle in with one. So, just while people start filtering in, I did actually want to make one big announcement. It was Tom's birthday yesterday.
Mate, well, that was forgotten in the private community, tell you that much. Your birthday and Alex's birthday.
Oh, I was going to do that. I actually was as well, and I thought I need to remember that. Do you want me to do a post now and just say...
No, it's too late. The moment's gone. I thought about it last night. I went to bed and I thought, those bastards.
You little bastards. Did you have a nice day anyway, mate? I saw you went to a Michelin star restaurant. Fame's not changed you, has it?
I did, mate. It was very, very good. My missus did not enjoy it as much as me, but I got to eat most of her food. So, 2 meals in one.
What type of food was it? Because I always find Michelin star, it's proper rich, isn't it? Full of cream, and you got about 50 courses. I
ate sea urchin. I ate pigeon. I ate on the menu. It said cow's head and cow's foot. So I'm guessing the hoof of a cow. Razor clams, all sorts of.
And you were pretending to enjoy it. Were you pretending to? Were you like, I couldn't think of anything better than this?
I was like, this is the best caviar and only caviar I've ever had. That was good, mate. It was really good. It was probably the best one I've done. I haven't done that many. I've done like 3 or 4, but it was top drawer. Right. When you come over next, mate, we'll pop along. I'm a regular there now.
Mate, absolute pleasure. Well, I can see we've got lots of people on Instagram saying many happy returns. And when I say lots, I mean one person. Andy, my man, Andy G, he's always joining the live sessions. He's a proper honest FBA member, isn't he? He'd take a bullet for us. Friday night, it doesn't matter. He's like, boys, pub's off tonight. Honest FBA's on.
I mean, what better way to start the weekend? Should we dive into...
You want to make the big old announcement then? So, shall I share the screen, or did you...
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, okay. Here we go, guys. So this is the announcement that we're going to be chatting about now. You can see that. So we've got our second live event coming up. Tickets have just been released. If you are based in the UK or even Europe, actually, this one's going to be absolutely unmissable. So it's going to be on the 9th of May in the afternoon, running from 1 p.m. until 7. And then after that, we're going to have a big old after party. So, Tom, did you want to quickly walk through what the day... Yeah, what the plan is for the day, because I know you've been working hard on organising this.
Yeah, so we did this in October. These are some of the photographs from that event, and we were oversubscribed. And our venue was great, but it was a bit small, so we were bursting at the seams a bit. So we wanted to go bigger. So this time we're going way bigger. We've got a ridiculously good venue just off London Bridge. We've also got these speakers. So there's 6. Do you want to scroll through? Oh yeah, that's the venue. Amazing Grace. Look it up on Instagram and Google. It's very different to what you normally get.
Is it a converted church?
The converted church into a music venue with like a mezzanine. It's like we're going it's a bit different to what you regularly get, like a corporate, a hotel conference room, which is a dog shit. So we want to go a bit better. Actually, yeah, the guys that are speaking, like we've gone big time in terms of we've actually got sponsors this time. So Actually, Jan, can you scroll up a tiny bit to the sponsors? Sorry, I should have shared my screen, really. I'm an idiot.
Oh, and there we go. Oh, you just doing a bloody, natural photo there.
As you can see, these are brought to you by Helium Tenor Involved, Gatida, Multiply Me, Tactical Logistics, Mint, Westbound. We've got a load of big dogs that have kindly sponsored the event, which has allowed us to keep the tickets down at $49.99. There are other events that are on for about 400 quid on the same week. I'm just saying. And we've got some of the same speakers, just saying. So what's the better value? Do you want to go down to the speakers, Jan? I'll run through them very quickly.
So here we go.
Basically,
very quickly. I don't know, mate. It might take you a while because these guys are pretty respected, aren't they? In the Amazon
people
field.
We'll post a link. Is this link in? Can we post this down below?
Yes, I will post a comment in a sec. Just so I'll put it on my Instagram as well. Actually,
basically, everyone who is speaking at this event is a 7 or 8 figure seller. So we've got Ben Leonard, who's a friend of ours, who's 7-figure exit. He was the first guy ever to sell to Thrasio, actually, but super knowledgeable guy, still in the game, still launching new brands. There's John Durkit's there. He is an 8-figure seller. He actually used to be an executive at Amazon, so he's a bit of an inside man. Great guy, knows a hell of a lot. He's got a really good newsletter, which I recommend everyone subscribing to. So he's going to speak as well. Also, currently still selling. Yoni and Eli. So these guys are from Multiply Me and Escala. Again, had a 7-figure exit, and they also have these 2 companies which are amazing. We actually use Multiply Me to get some of our team. So they kind of specialize in Filipino talent, and Escala is a huge company working with 7, 8, 9-figure brands. These guys down here.
There's more.
There's more. We might even add a couple more actually if we get excited. But Joshua, if you saw our PPC masterclass recently, again, 7-figure exit. He's got another 7-figure brand now. He actually runs our PPC. He's the best PPC agency we've ever come across. So he's going to speak. And we've got Michael and Jim. So Michael was the right-hand man of a guy called Miles Dunphy, who some of you guys, if you've been around the Amazon space for a while, Jansen wants to make a joke because he thinks that I'm obsessed.
I was going to say Tom's got a bit of a crush on him.
Miles was the first Amazon YouTuber I ever watched, and then now we became friends. So, dreams come true.
Every time he talks to him, he's like, "Oh, Miles, that's so smart."
You might know him as No I'm Millionaire or the really good-looking Australian guy off YouTube. Anyway,
you did a good podcast with him, didn't you, Tom? It's worth checking out on the channel if you've not seen that.
Yes, interviewed him in depth, and he spoke about Michael and that quite a lot. So on the channel, you'll see there's like a 2-hour podcast with him. Michael was Miles' right-hand man. So they scaled their brand to 8 figures and had an 8-figure exit with a team of 4 people. Like the guy's just like a systems genius. So he's going to speak. And then Jim Mann. So Jim met him in New York recently. 7-figure seller. He's also at Thrasio before this year when they've gone bump. And then also now he's at Gatida. So Gatida helped you get a bunch of cash back that Amazon steals. So and
then of course you've got the comedy act that will follow.
Yeah, I'm not sure where we'll slot in. We'll see how it's going. We'll be what's the word? Comparing? Yeah. You were good at that last time, Johnson, to be fair. Maybe we'll give you a chief.
I enjoyed that. So yeah, guys, if as we say, if you're kind of in the area, you're free, fancy flying over from wherever, it's really going to be a lot of fun. It'd be so good to meet all of you that have supported us over the past few months and even over the past few years when I would kind of do my own thing, and Tom and Alex and so on. So yeah, the last one was a lot of fun, and we can't wait to have it even bigger and even better this time.
Oh, we've got one of our lot is a professional, like actual legit professional DJ. He's very good. So we have the after party is an actual proper after party as well. So that'd be good. But yeah, the talks in the daytime, it's gonna be a load of Amazon, obviously Amazon centric stuff, but high level sellers telling you high level, not just like high level tactics and kind of secrets, but also a lot of this is motivational. The last event, it really got people pumped up to start. So if you're on the fence about starting and you want to just be around people that are doing the same thing or interested in the same thing, I really recommend getting down. We've got people coming in from Switzerland, we've got people coming from all around Europe. If anyone comes from the States, then you can, I'll pay for your dinner.
Oh, wow. And you get food included though, don't you? What is it? Some
food and drink, some booze included. We got some food included. It's all there, mate.
It's going to be a solid day, isn't it? A real solid day. Have to see who is the last person standing. So I will post on our story after this to kind of give you the direct link as well. So yeah, let's kind of answer any questions that you guys have got about about Amazon FBA. Sorry, product research, anything you like. So I can see a couple of comments already. Andy saying that my picture on my story cracked him up. Good. I was just literally sat on my desk. I was like, how can I tell people about Helium 10? Just do a funny face. It always works.
Oh, that's it. Helium 10, what, the 40, Helium 10 is currently, Helium 10, obviously, you guys
so
use
Helium 10 just launched a new 40% discount. So if you want grab that, just follow that link there and you can get it. I don't know how long they'll be keeping it open for. So Justin does FBA is asking, you'll have a good opinion on this, Tom. What do you think to Amazon's new fee structure on inventory? And then it's put, do you think it's to cuck 3P sellers and squeeze more brands to 1P? So like third party to use the Amazon system.
I don't think so. I mean to go 1P is, I don't know that many 1P sellers. I don't know if you do, but it's not like you can't just stroll into that anyway. What do you mean? Do you mean for them? I guess it means for them to have more ownership.
I think they're trying to get people to use their kind of shipping and distribution system, aren't they? Wholesaling.
Yeah, definitely think that's the strategy across the board. I mean, there's people within our community that are leaning into it for the time being. We're looking at it at the moment, like pricing it out in terms of they're just trying to get themselves further up the supply chain, which, you know, I kind of get it. But for now, while it looks like they're subsidizing a lot of the costs, you can take advantage of that. This is probably the most I've seen like uproar about anything that Amazon had done in terms of
especially on Twitter.
Yeah, on Twitter, there's been a lot of people kicking off about it. But I mean, Alex made a shame he's not here to grow his ego, but he put a really good tweet out the other day, and he was like, "Look, people are saying this about Amazon." And it makes it all seem kind of a bit doom and gloom, even though it's just it happens to everyone, so everyone's got to react to it. Everyone's got to put their prices up if there are new costs incurred. But if you look at people that sell D2C, they're all talking about Facebook ads going all over the place and screwing them over.
Yeah, there's something to kind of put you off whatever sales channel you're in.
Exactly. Right? When you're engrossed in it, it just is what it is. I mean, with our brand, like when you're sending units in now, what we found is, and we were kind of playing around with it the other day, if you send in over 4, kind of, you can go to 4 different fulfillment centers, our fees just dropped right down. It was fine. There was no real change in the costs. You want to play around with it and make sure you're doing it right, but it's not like just as everyone's being charged a bunch more. I think if you're sending in containers yourself, which, you know, people at scale, obviously you're going to do that eventually. It does get a bit more tricky, but definitely for beginners, I don't think it's going to be an issue whatsoever because you're going to use SPD.
Is this rolled out across Canada and Mexico, or is it just the US?
Just the US at the moment, I believe.
Fair. Okay. So for those of you that aren't kind of aware of what we were talking about there, it's basically a new charge that Amazon has brought into the US only at the moment, where they say if you send your stock to one of their fulfillment centers, they're now going to charge you to distribute that across the entire country, all their different fulfillment centers on your behalf. Previously, they did that for free, and they still do that for free in the UK. I don't know if I would be surprised if they rolled it out in the UK, but I think it would be a little bit unjust because the country is just so small, and it costs the same to send, you know, UPS parcel to Doncaster or Scotland. So I don't know, you know, it might just result in more people looking at markets like Canada, Mexico, smaller countries than the US, or like you say, prices going up and it really being the consumer being impacted.
Yeah, I mean, this one, there was a huge petition. I don't know if you signed it. I signed it the other day to like reverse.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Signed it kind of for the sake of it. I mean, this has happened if you're in the game for a while. There's always there's fee increases across like any industry, but like people tend to like kick off and then it kind of settles down. But like I said, it happens to everyone. It's the same with when the shipping prices went insane. It's the same for every single seller, right? We're all dealing with it, so that you don't feel like it's just you. It's just a case of, you know, are you strong enough? I mean, more important than ever, are your economics good enough for you to survive any kind of margin compression? So when you're launching products and doing product research, just focus massively on having as big a margin as possible and make that's like more important than ever, that you can't squeeze thin margins as much, because that will get compressed eventually.
Like low ticket products as well, like sub $10, it's going to be so difficult to kind of retain any margin at all. So hopefully that answered the question on that. We've got a question from Ali. My product is currently being received by Amazon. Inventory is showing in reserve, but it's not currently available. But you can launch the product should you wait or not. I would personally, I know it's really difficult when you get that email from Amazon to say that your product's being received and it's being distributed. It's going to massively impact your conversion if you're turning your listing on and it says delivery, next Tuesday, Wednesday, or whatever. Some people will buy it, but for sure, you want to make sure that when you're launching your product, you've got all your ducks in a row and you're ready to go, all guns blazing. And I kind of feel like having a delivery date 5 days away is going to hamper that. What you could do is turn Vine on, maybe get a couple of reviews under your belt so that when they are prime fulfillable, you're ready to go. But yeah, it's I would say, on balance, it's probably best to wait, although it is hard.
It's very, very, very hard. But every seller, I remember a lot of people in our community ask us this same question, and the grand scheme of things, look, it's taken you, I'm guessing, right, it's probably taken you 4 months, 5 months to get to this point. Realistically, what's an extra couple of days? Just hang fire. You're gonna be desperate, but like for the sake of your business and having a stronger launch, just hang fire, like in do it.
It's like waiting all year for Christmas, and then you get to Christmas Eve and like, shall I just open my presents now? No, wait one more day.
Good analogy, Dan. Okay. Very good.
Yeah. Okay. So, Camel, I found a product that's seasonal. It's got 2 peaks a year. It could be interesting. I think Tom's quite well placed to answer this one because you've got a seasonal product, haven't you? And would you recommend it to people watching, or what are the different things that you wish you knew back before you launched?
Yeah, I mean, ours, some of our products is seasonal in terms of like what we're talking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, 5 or 6 months of them being a lot higher than they kind of die out in, for example, the winter. It can make your inventory management tricky for sure. I mean, most products in retail have a bit of seasonality about them. Like often, obviously, generally it's Q4 spikes. People, they're giftable, which a lot of products are. Then you're going to get spikes around then. But they might be kind of seasonal in other areas. I think as long as you can plan around it and you've got the cash to facilitate being ready for those spikes, then it's okay. If they're seasonal to the point of there's like 2 weeks a year where they're good and the rest of it's crap, then no, I would not advise selling that product. Like it's like selling a Mother's Day product. To me, that this feels like I just don't like it at all. There's no consistency there. It's harder to plan, and you're placing your bets, and you could end Mother's Day weekend. Is it always on a weekend? I don't know. Mother's Day.
It's always on a Sunday. Oh, you've only had 33 of them now.
My sister
it's not
sorted
like
out.
Christmas changes days, but Mother's Day is always Mothering Sunday.
Right. Okay. So I mean, I've been out in the UK too long.
Sorry, Mrs. Ferret, if you're watching this, your son just does not give a crap.
So yeah, no, I think you could end that weekend being sat on a load of stock, and you can't do anything with it right till the next year. So no, I would say seasonality is okay with some spikes, but you want that solid baseline as well.
Yeah, and I have a number of seasonal products as well, and it's so difficult to forecast, and the market can change so much in a year. So this time last year, one of my products was doing well. The kind of sales dropped off because of the season ending, and then this year there's been a bunch of new competitors, and it's kind of like you have to do product research again in some ways to kind of understand how many units you should be ordering and so on. So, like with any product on Amazon, of course you can sell it, but you've just got to kind of think, is it worth going to battle and having to fight over forecasting and all the points that Tom mentioned? We've got a bit of a deep question here. When did you meet? and how?
How? Zid. Do you want to know? How do we meet? We met via the third the third man in this relationship.
The third wheel.
Big Al. Him and Jansen started. I'll be honest, Jansen told the story numerous times. Do you want to just tell what happened? You make out like Alex slid into your DMs, right?
Right, yeah. So I mean, yeah, back in 2018, I was documenting my journey on Amazon FBA on my Jansen Smith channel, and yeah, just kind of got a little message one day from Alex being like, "Hey, Uncle Jansen," he actually called me Uncle Jansen, asking for help on something, and then we kind of, I think more or less we've definitely spoken every week since then, but for the last 2 years, and you mentioned this, Tom, didn't you? We've spoken pretty much every day. But yeah, like this is the real beauty of being a part of something like Amazon FBA, you know, being a part of a community, because you're surrounded by people that are very driven, entrepreneurial, same interests and so on, which might be very different to your real life friends. Like all my real life friends, you know, love hanging out with them, but they just don't have the same interests as me when it comes to business and obviously Amazon and so on. So yeah, by documenting my journey, I've met so many people over the years, and Alex and Tom being one of them. And look at us now; we're like business partners. We're running, you know, a very successful community together. Chat every day. It's a bit of a love story, really, isn't it, Tom?
Mate, I was waiting for the right time to say a joke then about you having two friends other than us, but I couldn't get.
Well, my wife and my son.
Yeah, yeah, you made it for me. There
Absolutely.
You go.
I was so glad when my son was born. I was like, yes, a new friend.
There's if you want to find out more, Zid, there's we interviewed Jansen on the channel when we first partnered up. We did a podcast, which if you go back, trying to see where it is here. The thumbnails of Jansen. This is how he built 2 7-figure businesses while working a 9-to-5, and you can hear the in-depth story about why we joined together and kind of a bit more information.
It's a real eye waterer, and to be honest, I couldn't think of a better night to do it than a Friday night. So just get it on. Say to your friends, I'm not coming out anymore. I've got better things to be doing. But yeah, Zid, if you'd like to meet us and you are in the UK or you're nearby, make sure you get down to that event. You know, get a ticket for you. As we've been talking, actually, Tom, we've been selling, and just as a reminder, we are capped. That the venue, is it 200 or 180?
I am. I'm in negotiations to.
Yeah.
Try
and go over your legal limit. But yeah, so we've sold a fair amount already, and we've only just launched. So if you would like to come, jump on that. Luke on Instagram is saying, is 10K enough to start with? What's the minimum amount you would expect to need to launch a product?
Yeah, but funnily enough, I recorded a video on this a couple of days ago, which is nearly ready for YouTube, which is about how much money you need to start Amazon FBA. 10K, in short, yeah, great. That's a solid budget for sure. You can have a real good go with that. You probably will see if you watch some of our videos, we do say to have a higher budget than a lot of other people, a lot of other kind of gurus, for lack of a better phrase. I never really call myself a guru, but that other people, they're going to tell you low numbers to kind of get you in. But in reality, with private label, like, you do want to do things properly. You want to get professional photographs done. You want to get a trademark. You want to get videos done. You want to get graphics done. You want to be able to, you know, order enough inventory to last when you launch as well. So there's a lot of facets to it, but 10K for sure. I would say with that kind of budget, you want to be looking at niches where the products are doing around 10,000, 12,000 a month. You can safely compete there. You know, you can afford the units, and you can give yourself an aggressive launch. And then after that, reinvest, go for the higher revenue niches after that. I mean, look, we started with less than 10K, and that's now grown into a 7-figure business. So you can definitely do it.
Yeah, and it massively depends, doesn't it, on the marketplace that you're launching in, the type of product that you're going to be selling. Like if you've got 10K and you want to sell massage guns, it doesn't matter that 10K sounds quite a lot, because the sales in the massage gun niche is like $1 million a month, right? And the one thing that Amazon hates is sellers going out of stock. Punishes you by putting your rank position on page 2, 3, 4, and so on. So you need to make sure that whatever amount that you've got, it's suitable for the product that you want to launch. 10K, definitely, it's a really nice amount. I started with 3K, 3.5K in the UK. So yeah, I would personally, with that amount, probably look at the smaller markets, because it means you're going to be able to consider like a wider range of niches. But yeah, that should definitely give you enough to kind of execute all the steps really well. So the product, the quality of the branding, the listing, and so on. But yeah, Luke, mate, if you need any more guidance, do feel free to reach out. Ali is saying, what types of keyword campaigns should we start with PPC, so advertising on Amazon? The first thing I would recommend you to do is to check out the PPC masterclass that we did with a guy called Joshua last week. He spent about 90 minutes running through this, and it was like incredibly valuable. And it was completely free as well. So check that out. The kind of keyword campaigns that I'd say to always start with, especially when you're just launching a new product, are going to be like your keyword campaigns. So you want to go for your exact targeting. Myself, I've had a lot of experience and success with phrase targeting, but I think actually Josh in the training last week said he only does broad. Ultimately, I don't think there is like a real right or wrong. Like if you set up an auto campaign or something, it's not going to completely destroy your business and that's it. You're never going to see success. It just might take you a little longer to get there. So keep that in mind. We've got a bunch of PPC tutorials on this channel as well. So yeah, check those out. Any advice on, this is another one for Tom, any advice on sourcing products in the US?
Wow.
Did you submit that question yourself, Tom?
Yeah. Well, funny enough, I just have another video coming out on that, which just needs to make the thumbnail, and then that's going to go live probably this weekend, actually. Shall I just recite the whole video? It's about 8 minutes.
We'll just read off your script now.
Right. So the six ways I source in America. No, yeah, I that's something that we've been doing a lot recently. I've been pretty heavily involved in that side of the business, and I like it. I used to hate it. I used to hate it so much because it was so difficult to get a response, and it still can be. You have to be pretty resilient. It's not like going on Alibaba when sourcing in China or Vietnam or whatever. And just there's dozens of options for you, and you can reach out to those people at once. In the US, there's a website called ThomasNet, which is spoken about quite a lot. Personally, I haven't ever seen great success on there, but you can use that as a bit of a directory of different kind of providers and their contact details. Usually when you reach out to people on there, the MOQs, so the minimum order quantities that you get quoted, are just ridiculous, and they're not very flexible, and you send out a bunch of emails, you won't hear anything back for weeks, and then they'll respond kind of they just don't care. There's no urgency, and they're kind of old businesses. The way I've seen it work a lot better, I'm doing it recently, is Google. Just Google your ass off, like Google put a VPN on. I would Google state.
What's the VPN for? So you classed as being in the US?
Yeah.
God,
I'm right tech savvy, me.
You are, mate. I'm surprised you did that. You used some lingo earlier, and I was like, he doesn't know what that is. You went, should we put a UTM on the link? And he went, I don't even know what that means. It just sounds clever. So you're like, just VPN it.
I got a VPN about 3 months ago, and I love it. I've been living in the Stone Ages, basically. But yeah, have the VPN on. Search. You can even go state by state. There are certain states that are better for some products than others. So I say this in the video. I think it's Utah is very good for supplements, for example. So search state by state.
That's interesting. Is like a reason for that? Just like a bunch of factories just cropped up there.
I'm guessing maybe tax benefits. So they have factories. It's kind of like having, in China you have the business district in the south where they get tax relief, like in Shenzhen. It might be something like that. That's a complete guess, but I'm assuming it could be that. Do that, and then get on Google. But I'm not talking about the top results on Google. You go on page 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Trawl through Google. Reach out to everyone you can find. And then get on the phone. So I'd stay here in the evening. I've got get Skype credit on my phone, and I started ringing people. And I got through to people, and the rapport you can build up, you can save months and months of time as compared to sourcing in, say, China, because you can really get the brand vision across instantly. And now we're working with suppliers in the US where have him on WhatsApp. We just chat. I can get things done really quickly. Any new ideas that I'm having, he's helping source products as well. So yeah, overall, you can watch the video for the rest. That was a teaser. I didn't give it all away. There's some more top tips and secrets, but Yeah,
Mate, you're going to get like 2 views now. You've completely spoiled it. You've really given it away.
Well,
and when you're on the old dog and bone to them, what are you saying? I'm an Amazon seller, or do you just kind of not park Amazon altogether, just ignore it?
I have been. Yeah, one of the guys we're dealing with actually has his own brand on Amazon as well. So that was pretty good because I could speak to him about. He knows exactly how to do things to spec and how to pack things to spec and everything. So that was useful. I generally just say we're a brand in the niche that we're in, and go from there. It's just a much more casual conversation. It's not so much. I don't feel so much like you're negotiating for your life from the start, which you can sometimes feel like that with some of the Chinese sellers, for example. Sorry, Chinese providers. But then again, as well, with what's great with the US is you can push for payment terms. It's much more accepted there that businesses will have payment terms from the off. So what that means is, like, for example, net 30, which means you pay the balance 30 days after they've shipped the goods out, which is very, very useful for cash flow.
And I suppose that what's even better is they're shipping from the US. So how quickly does it take to get to an Amazon fulfillment center?
Like 4 days, 3 days.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that you could have sold a bunch of units by then and got the cash back. Whereas I guess with China, you've got to wait, say, a month of manufacturing and then a month to get, the shipment to fulfillment center and so on. And you would have paid pretty much straight away. So yeah, guys, make sure you look out for that video from Tom on sourcing in the US. Kishan is a new member of Honest FBA. Welcome, my friend. Hopefully you've enjoyed your first week. So Kishan is asking right now, got a budget of 2,500 to 3,000 euros. Should I look 1,000 to 3,000 search volume? So I don't fall into the trap of thinking that, search volume is going to dictate, anything other than how much demand a certain phrase is being used. What you really need to be looking for is the revenue that a certain niche is generating, and can you afford to sell in that niche. So the reason that we look at search volume is basically to understand if there's demand for a number of long tail keywords, or if there's anything that's really important to consider when we're looking for ways to differentiate or whatever. And I wouldn't really, focus on that heavily for when thinking, about the budget or whatnot. So if you've got 2,500 to 3,000 euros, the thing that I would be doing is probably looking at niches, smaller niches that have got, 3,000 euros or so worth of revenue per month, and then starting from there and seeing if you can afford to buy the stock for those type of products. And if you can maybe increase it a little bit. But Kishan, given that you're so new, I kind of guess that you've not really had the time to go through the materials in Honest FBA, because we will walk you through that and how to approach product research and understanding whether you have the right budget or not. Do you know what? I can see Alex is trying to join, but his camera's not working, and I bet he's like effing and blinding and stuff.
Tell you what, can you hear me?
We can hear you, mate. Yeah.
Why just put your rubbish camera on, mate?
So I'm dying to get in the mixer.
You know we're live now, don't you?
yeah, of course I do. Yeah, how are we doing, everyone?
Have you been watching? Have you been watching?
Right?
We've got 130 people looking at an EOS webcam utility.
Yeah, and it's still more interesting than you two boring bastards.
I can't believe it. See, the numbers are falling like flies now.
Everyone, this idiot's here.
People are like, I've had enough of this.
I'm gonna. What should I do? Just switch to my regular camera.
Switch to your rubbish camera, mate. I mean, me and Tom are looking absolutely prem. So
I'm in the dark now. I need to put a light on.
Oh god, that's not a flattering angle, is it?
Is that what you look like? Wow. The camera does work wonders, doesn't it?
Yeah, hang on.
Soft the light out. Soft the light. God.
Right. So we've had a couple.
Wrong way.
Are you ready to go straight into the mix now with the Q&A?
Yeah, I'm ready now. Look at that.
Oh, mate, the banter brigade started already. Adam, absolutely, probably best.
Oh, shit, down. That's my brother-in-law.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, fair.
My sister on there.
Okay, so the next question that we've got is it hard to find good suppliers from China without actually going to China?
No.
So you two did end up going, didn't you? And there was a lot of benefit to doing that. But I mean, how long had you been working with those suppliers before you even met them?
3 years, 3.5, over 3 years.
Yeah.
And we never even spoken to them on the phone or anything.
No.
Yeah, no, to answer that question, no, of course you can find them without going, like 100%. That's what like everyone pretty much does. You know, it's pretty rare you could start off flying out there. If you got the means to do it, it could be worth it for sure. We do know a few people that have gone out to, I'm blanking on what's the big thing called? Canton Fair.
Canton Fair, yeah.
Canton Fair is mega popular. And there's people that we know you can definitely, just like I said about ringing people up in the US and speeding up the process. If you get out to China and get to Canton Fair and meet people, of course, you're going to speed up the process as well. But yeah, it's not essential. You can get on Alibaba. You can still do the traditional methods. You just need to learn how to validate that a supplier is legit and that they're going to meet the quality that you need. So there's definitely steps to put in place there.
And I think that there's lots of different ways that you can kind of build a relationship with the supplier. So I've been using the same one for 6 years now. I've never met the guy. We did try to have a FaceTime once, and the reception was so bad. It was just fucking awkward. Like I asked him a question about a minute later. He was like, "Hello, Johnson." and then I just went, "I'm going to hang up because I can't be doing this." We've never spoken again since. But no, we have like WeChat. I've got another supplier on WhatsApp, and that just, that allows you to have a little bit of banter and kind of talking about things other than buying products from them, which does work wonders. So if you can't afford to go to China, Tom, mate, are we just having a rubbish lighting session now? Shall I just turn my main one on?
I thought Tom's was actually looking quite good.
I did as well. I thought it looked very cinematic, actually.
Yeah.
But yeah, I honestly wouldn't worry about that. But what I would say as well is remember that you've got suppliers in your own country. So a really good example of the value of meeting local suppliers and networking is a few weeks ago in London, there was an expo called the White Label Expo, and it was basically full of private label manufacturers and contacts and so on. And a member of ours in Honest FBA messaged me and said that event in itself was so valuable to my business and the profit I'm generating. He'd been looking for a manufacturer or somebody to customize a product that he had. He wants to start doing customizable products on Amazon, and everyone that he contacted online was like either didn't reply or just said no, we don't do it. He went to this expo and he said he met 3 different suppliers that can do it for him, and he settled on one. So just as Tom said earlier, with kind of talking to suppliers in the US, if getting on the phone with them, meeting them in person, it does work wonders. Just do what you can, basically. Do what you can to stand out from probably a sea of other people that are emailing these guys every day, and it's incredibly mundane. I bet the guys on Alibaba get hundreds of messages a day, and it's probably soul destroying when you get people going, "Can I buy 5 units and customize the packaging and add branding on it?" And they're like, "Oh, for fuck's sake." Okay, so what else have we got? We've got someone just saying, I don't know at what point Eve said this, but she's put wow. And then she said, "Thank you. I'm going to book a discovery call." It could have been when Alex just turned on. Yeah. Who knows? Okay, so it's Eve asking about supplies and things. But yeah. Feel free to book a call with us and we can have a chat about how we can help. Jansen, you mentioned that you started with 3.5K. Can you reveal your first product? Well, the answer is no, because even though I did start that product 5-6 years ago, I'm still selling it. But I don't think that I really need to, because it's very easy to find products on Amazon that you can, start with that amount of capital. You just use like Helium 10 black box and just search for products with around that.
Alex, do what you're going to do. He's going to show our first product, didn't he?
No. Oh, I could. Well, actually, yeah.
How much did you start with that? How much did that cost you?
This, so I actually launched these in Spain on my own, and then I teamed up with Tom, and we launched them in the UK. The first order was for €2,000,
And I remember you did it a little bit, I wouldn't say budget, but as in you used your own utensils, because weren't you on the listing? I remember you were holding it up, weren't you?
Yeah. I got my mate Dave to be on his roof like this because he's got a cool tattoo on his arm. So like it, but the listing the first listing I did was a bit crap, I won't lie. But then, especially when me and Tom teamed up, we spruced them up a bit, and it looked great. And we made some cash with the wallets, didn't we? In the UK, I think our best month in the UK was £25,000 revenue, probably about 15% margin back then, I think, if I remember rightly. So pretty solid. But yeah, I started with like 2,000 euros. So it wasn't a huge. And I was just going to say as well, I've just literally, the reason I was late is I was filming some hot heat, 45 minutes
material.
Some, honestly, it was probably my best product research video to date. So if you're not subscribed to the channel,
we've hinted at in this live now. So there's a lot. We've got a lot coming up, basically.
Yeah,
we basically revealed half of our videos.
Yeah.
And then did you get the notification on your phone that said Tom and Johnson are live, and you went, fucking hell. Anyway, guys, I found the product. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Yeah. I was like, gotta get off.
This is a good one. This is a bit relevant to something that I've had. How do you handle fake review attacks from competitors? So this happened to me a few years ago. The first thing I will say is don't just assume that a 1-star review is from a competitor. It happens a lot where people, say, this is a 5-star product. Someone's disliked it. It's got to be a competitor. How can I get it removed? Like, sometimes you just need to, look at your product objectively, like independently, and kind of think, is this person that is complaining actually right about the product? Is there anything I could do to improve it? As opposed to just going, no, they're wrong. It's fake. It's a competitor. So what I would say is, if it's just a one-off single review that you've had, like, realistically, it's probably just an arsehole. Like, people love to complain and leave bad reviews. They probably get off on it. Like, I've had reviews complaining about the smallest of things, giving me a 1-star, and in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't matter. It hasn't impacted my kind of overall performance on Amazon. So if it's just one review, read it, kind of thing, is there anything I could do with the listing? Can I improve it to kind of address this issue to make sure it's not missed in the future? Can I ask a friend or family member to look at my product and see if that person is right? That's the first thing. Now, if these reviews keep coming through and it is genuinely a competitor, then what I would be doing is writing to the Amazon's, I think it's Review Appeals. There's a video on getting 1-star reviews removed on my channel. If you take a look, it's got all the emails there. But to be brutally honest, it's not easy. I did manage to do it. I got like 40 1-star reviews removed, but I kind of had to explain why I thought they were fake. So that's why I'm saying to you now, Shandy, don't just kind of assume that it's a competitor because you got a 1-star, because you're going to have to explain to Amazon why you think it's a review attack. So if you've got good proof, send it. They should remove it or press report abuse on the page. But yeah, that's my tip. Okay, Malis, it's his first private label product. Is it a bad idea to choose kitchen utensils, home linen, baby products after enough research, or do I have to go with a cool new innovative product? I think Alex is going to have a lot to say about this, because you like to say, go for the boring ones, don't you? Make them sexy.
Yeah. I think, most products, there's an opportunity to do something. I think like kitchen utensils specifically, like spatulas, stuff like that, like it's usually very, very low cost. Don't fall into the trap of thinking that you need to launch a cheap product, like a $9.99 product, for example. It doesn't necessarily mean that launching those products is going to be cheaper. But I mean, don't obsess over your first product. I think I heard Jansen just as I was joining talking about, finding something in a smaller niche, and then just really focus on just, making a great listing, making sure that your profit margins are where they need to be, and doing a good product launch. And don't really obsess over it too much. But like baby products, home and linen, like if you're looking at selling, curtains and stuff like that, that's going to be super competitive. Not a huge fan of that. We do like stuff as well that's, like in niches. I mean, one that I just looked at, little spoiler alert here. I was looking at a niche before, and it's vinyl storage, which sounds boring, but they're not like people like vintage vinyl boxes and storage and stuff. So there's tons and tons of niches within, like home products you use in the garden. There's so many niches. I wouldn't obsess too much about the niche itself. Just focus on, bringing a good product that you can stand out, do some great branding, good graphic design, and make sure it fits your budget and everything, and don't overthink it too much.
This is an absolute belter. Michael wants to know, can he come to the bloody event without being a seller? Yes, mate. So in case we probably didn't make this clear enough actually at the beginning, this event is for anybody that fancies himself as a bit of an entrepreneur, that, is considering Amazon FBA as a way to give themselves an additional income stream. Whether you are an existing seller, past seller, someone that's only just come across it doesn't matter. You're going to get a lot of value from the day. We've got really experienced people that have built brands on Amazon, sold them, and then they're now experts on brand building and helping others to do the same. So whether you're a complete beginner, it honestly doesn't matter. And also, like, what other opportunity are you going to get to meet so many Amazon legends under one roof, and in a church as well, an old church? Like, you can't. Tom's picked that venue for a very specific reason.
Look, and if you come, you're gonna get on. I can't guarantee it, but you're probably gonna get on our YouTube channel, and you're gonna get a tiny bit of fame, because we're gonna film a load of it and interview people and stuff. So we did it. One of the first reasons we did it was because there's a bunch of people within Honest FBA who wanted to kind of become friends within our community, and they wanted to meet up. So that's one of the reasons we did it. It's like a networking opportunity for them to kind of become in real life friends. And then, aside from that, it's people that are interested, people that we've made friends with on the internet that we haven't met yet. It's a chance for kind of everyone to come together. So sign up if you're keen. It's going to be a good crack.
Are we going to get a bit jealous of each other when people are asking for selfies and we go, do you want one with me? And they go, no, not with you, thanks, I'm all right. Because I saw that happening at the last event, Tom, when I was getting all the selfies and you went, did you want me? And I go, you? Never heard of you.
I can see, by the way, Al Sadiq, welcome back, mate. I think I've seen you on a few of these. You should do an event in the US, in LA specifically. We have this is on the cards. We have a lot of members in the US now, so it's something that we were working on. It's also going to be.
We're actually thinking. Were we thinking of doubling it up with Prosper next year in Vegas?
We are known to be.
LA's near to Vegas, isn't it?
We are event hijackers, aren't we? That's our kind of.
Honest FBA Live the day before Prosper.
It is convenient. It's convenient. Possibly, yeah. Look, we've got a load of people in the US. We're also going to do one in Barcelona. So anyone in Europe or anyone based in the UK later in the year, we're likely going to do one here. But the London one, this will be our biggest one in the UK this year. So if you are able to make it, this is the one to come to.
Yeah, and as we said earlier, the venue's got that capacity of around 200, and we're well on our way, considering that it's only day one of tickets. So, yeah, Michael, please do buy a ticket. You can buy one for a +1 as well if you don't want to be surrounded by pure Amazon FBA nerds, but I'm sure you'll enjoy it either way. So what about have we done? I recognize your name, Naomi. Did we speak? Did we speak last time?
Yeah, I think she was on, perhaps on, it definitely was on one of the other calls.
Yeah, nice to see you back. I don't know if it's Naomi or if it's a guy called Adam, but anyway, nice to see you. If you see lots of new sellers launching a product in X-ray, is it something that you would turn away to not go into the market? Who wants to take this one?
Do you want me to handle this? Is one of my favorite topics.
Yeah. X-ray is your favorite. One of the traps that I do talk about a lot is these niches that have got really low review counts, and they're like trending or they're new, and people think like, yes, I can get on this and I can make loads of money on it, whatever. But if you're seeing it's quite a new niche and there's quite a lot of new sellers launching that product, it's not really that great of a sign unless you've got something really, really, really different and something amazing. Because, by the time you get your product to market in 4 months, like there might be 100 new sellers and the price that you based everything on might be like
not relevant anymore, and it can happen when a lot of new sellers enter a niche and they struggle to make money, so they drop the price, and then the price in the niche tanks. And we've seen that happen a lot of times, actually. So yeah, it is a good thing to kind of look at. You know, what you really want to do is you want to find like a niche that's just very stable. It's not really not really getting much attention. There's not many new sellers coming into it, and then you find a really good way of standing out in that niche. I mean, a good example of a huge brand that did this really well, and it's, you know, they're a $1 billion brand now, but Liquid Death, the water company. So like the niche, the water niche was the same. I mean, like two corporations owned most of those brands, like Coca-Cola and Nestle, and Liquid Death came along, and now they're a $1 billion company. Because, but you know, there wasn't tons of new water brands being launched all the time because it was all the same sort of stuff. So yeah, it's a good thing to look at. You don't really want to see loads and loads of new sellers, because especially by the time you get your product to market, there's going to be even more, and then it might be difficult to compete.
Just with that Liquid Death, I just remembered a few years ago we had a talk from a branding expert that was saying very similar things to what we teach. You know, when it comes to your branding, you want to do something out the box that gets attention, that's different. And he made an absolute fortune. I think it was in the 80s now, or early 90s, selling cigarettes. And his angle, his brand was called Death Cigarettes. And he was like, you know, like these cigarettes will kill you and stuff. And because it was so different to Benson and Hedges, Camel, whatever, he said it just got so much attention, sales went through the roof, and then I think he actually got stopped from advertising it like that, so he had to close down. But similar concept. But also, just to kind of additional point as well, Naomi or Adam, I think you can never look at these things in isolation as well. So, you know, it's worth, you need to do lots of different pieces of analysis to kind of make your mind up about any product niche. So look at Google Trends, look at the search volume history, look at Amazon US and so on. And that will basically, you know, give you conclusive evidence of whether the niche is about to become saturated when you put everything together. Okie doke. So Naomi said, thank you. No worries.
I'm sure it's got to be Naomi. You're just pronouncing it wrong. It's no.
Yeah.
It could be Adam Naomi. I don't know anyone with the surname Adam. Do you?
Naomi, or can you write phonetically how do we say your name? Because this is ridiculous.
If you're going to be a regular, we don't want to upset you. Andy, it's Nah then home. Okay, Nah home. So we're not saying it right.
Wow. Sorry.
Nah home. Wow. Okay.
Nah.
Thank you, Nah home. We'll remember that. Andy wants another spoiler for the YouTube. He said, "When's the interview with Joe dropping?" That's literally like the fourth video now we've revealed.
So again, that is ready. I'll be honest, Andy. I was waiting on a photograph of Joe for the thumbnail, and slim pickings. The man doesn't take many photographs. He said he's not vain. Was his response to me yesterday. So he sent me a photograph that looked like it was taken on a potato. So couldn't do that because obviously got to have a good thumbnail. So as soon as we have that solved, it'll be going live. Hold me to it by Tuesday. We'll get it live. It's a good interview, actually. But actually, for those who don't know who Joe is, because that's pretty inside baseball kind of chat we were having then. Joe is one of our members who he's launched about 3 brands on Amazon now, but he's sold one of them. So he had an exit already. And we get really deep into the exit, the numbers that he sold for, what he's done with the money, how he's launched his new brand, about how he sourced the products, how he found the ideas. So yeah, massively interesting interview. I watched it back again the other day, and there's loads of nuggets in there. So definitely subscribe to the channel. I guess you probably are if you're watching this, but in case you're not, subscribe. We've got as you can tell, we've got about 6 videos ready to drop in the next week. So there's a lot of content going out.
There's one from me as well that I've not revealed, and I'm not going to reveal it because otherwise it's literally
still not beans.
Okay, so we're at 1:30 now, and I think my delivery has just arrived. Were you guys gonna stay on, or
I've got a roll? I've been shifted. Hey,
the numbers are just peaking as well, man. 150 people now.
Wow.
Sorry, guys.
People want to chat like we want more. I mean,
we want more. I mean, look, you've got hours of material to go through on the YouTube channel. You've got our free masterclass video as well. And if you want to have a chat and learn more about joining Honest FBA, being a part of a community of people that all want to see each other win when it comes to Amazon, then yeah, there's a link, should be below this video on the channel. Final reminder though, the event in London, I'm just going to put it on the screen now. As we've been chatting now, with the tickets are bloody flying off the virtual shelf. So make sure you grab one of those. It'd be so nice to meet as many of you as possible. Nahome, I don't know where you're based, but come on, get over, get a ticket.
Malus is saying, for non-UK residents, is there an option to join the event digitally? Or are you guys willing to sponsor flights and accommodation? He'll take care of the visa. I don't know how far you're coming, mate. That's a pretty, that's a big ask, but let's see. Maybe we'll come up with some kind of competition to give away a ticket.
Cool.
Yeah, we could
guys.
stream it, maybe.
Absolute pleasure as always. We'll hope to see you all soon. So remember to subscribe, and hopefully next time Alex can sort his camera out and be looking cinematic once more. See you all.
Nice one.
Bye.